Good evening, I'm Jessica Lee. Welcome to News on 2. Malaysia and Singapore will hold talks early next year regarding the Johor Bahru port limits. Foreign Minister Datuk Saifuddin Abdullah said for now, both countries have agreed to implement a minimal border control unit that will not take any aggressive actions whatsoever.
Sekarang ini rundingan kita ialah yang pertama, kita nak dengan izin de-escalate keadaan, dan kerana itu ada persetujuan antara kedua-dua negara bahawa aset yang ada, yakni bot-bot kawalan itu kita pastikan kalaupun masih ada tetapi mestilah dipastikan dia tidak agresif.
In addition, Datuk Saifuddin said the presence of the ships will raise tensions between both nations. Discussions between Singapore and Kuala Lumpur will involve both the Malaysian and Singaporean foreign ministers as well as the Attorney General. Speaking in Dewan Rakyat today, Datuk Saifuddin said this in response to a question put forth by Senator Datuk Razali Idris. On the 10th of December, the Singaporean Foreign Ministry welcomed Malaysia's actions in taking all effective measures to defuse tensions and address the situation in a calm and peaceful manner. Now, commenting further, Datuk Saifuddin reiterated that while Kuala Lumpur and the neighbouring nation had agreed to reduce the presence of their respective vessels in disputed waters, the presence of one Malaysian vessel is considered minimal and non-aggressive.
Yang penting ialah kehadiran kita situ adalah secara minimum dan dalam keadaan yang dalam bahasa Inggeris disebut non-aggressive posture.
Datuk Saifuddin said this in response to Singapore Transport Minister Koh Boon Wan, who urged Malaysia to withdraw all of its vessels. As reported in Singaporean newspaper The Straits Times, a Malaysian ship was still residing in Singaporean waters as of last night. Meanwhile, Datuk Saifuddin said Malaysian carrier Firefly's move to halt operations since the 1st of December is rational following the use of Instrument Landing System or ILS in Seletar Airport by Singapore could threaten Malaysian sovereignty. Now, he said the airline is aware of the negative impact should they continue operating.
Firefly tahu tentang isu ini dan kerana itu buat masa ini Firefly tak mahu landing dan kerana itu tak meneruskan perkhidmatan atas kefahaman mereka tentang kepentingan negara.
The Indra Makota Member of Parliament, who said this in response to Senator Datuk Razali Idris, added that there were regulatory concerns, particularly in relation to Firefly's safety operations to Seletar Airport. The Malaysian government, however, will still try to negotiate on the issue of regulatory concerns regarding Singapore's plans to relocate Firefly operations from Changi Airport to Seletar Airport. This includes airspace issues which will be discussed, especially in reviewing the terms and conditions of Malaysia to Singapore airspace, delegation of the air traffic services provision. A 43-year-old priest pleaded not guilty after being charged for alleged child abuse resulting in the death of his 10-year-old son on the 5th of December. Now, the accused, who was previously under remand for 7 days, was charged under Section 31, Subsection 1 of the Child's Act 2001. Based on the charge sheet, the accused was charged of committing the offence at around 10:35 p.m. on the 5th of December at Section 1, Bandar Rincing, Semenye, Hulu Langat, Selangor. Upon conviction, the accused can be fined 50,000 ringgit or 20 years in jail or both. Lawyer S.R. Sri Devi Naidu represented the accused pro bono, while the prosecution was handled by Siti Nur Afizan Zakaria. Sessions Court Judge Datin Sarita Budin said 10th of January 2019 for remention of the case. The media had earlier reported that the victim was unconscious when he was taken to the Serdang Hospital by his family at around 10:30 p.m. on the 5th of December, but was, however, pronounced dead while receiving treatment. Kajang District Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Ahmad Zafir Muhammad Yusof also informed that a post-mortem on the unfortunate child found his death due to multiple blunt injuries throughout the body. The victim, the second child of 3 siblings, was taken care of by his father after his wife left them 2 months ago. However, the 2 sisters, aged 12 and 8, are now under their mother's care. The Kota Bharu Sessions Court today sentenced a man to 8 years in jail and 3 strokes of the cane for seriously injuring a man, causing him to lose his left arm tendon on Monday. Judge Ahmad Bazli Bahrudin handed down the sentence after the accused pleaded guilty. The accused, 48-year-old Mazlisha Mahmood, was charged with committing the offence beside a security guard post of a school in Kuala Krai, Kelantan on the 10th of December. The prosecution was conducted under Section 326 of the Penal Code. The accused, who was unrepresented, asked the court for leniency, citing his need to support his mother, who had high blood pressure and diabetes. The court, however, set the sentence against the accused to start from the date of arrest. The Kuala Lumpur Sessions Court today gave 2 months for the defence in a corruption case involving former Sabah Chief Minister Tan Sri Musa Aman to file their application to transfer the case to the High Court. Judge Rosina Ayub gave the time frame after lawyer Francis Ng Aik Guan, representing Tan Sri Musa, informed the court that the defence had yet to decide on transferring the case to the High Court as they were still waiting for the documents on the case from the prosecution. The court then set 20th of February next year for mention for developments on the matter. Earlier, the prosecution conducted by Deputy Public Prosecutor Datuk Raja Rosella Rajatoran informed the court that the prosecution had submitted some of the documents to the defence and required time to submit the remaining documents. She said the prosecution would not object if the defence wanted to apply to transfer the case to the High Court. Last 5th of November, Tan Sri Musa claimed trial to 35 counts of graft over timber concessions in Sabah involving $63.3 million. The charges were made under Section 11A of the Anti-Corruption Act 1987 for accepting gratification by agent and punishable under Section 16 of the same law. The former Sabah Chief Minister faces an imprisonment for up to 20 years and fine of not less than 5 times the amount of the gratification, or 10,000 ringgit, whichever is higher, if found guilty. The luxury super yacht Equanimity, which belongs to the Malaysian government, will be sold at a price of no less than $130 million or 543 million ringgit, which is half of its original price. It is reportedly worth $250 million or 1 billion ringgit. Lawyer Sitpa Selvaratnam, who is leading the legal team for the government and One Malaysia Development Berhad 1MDB on the Equanimity case, said the price was set after the yacht was valued by UK-based independent appraiser Winterbothams. Speaking today after case management on the matter at the Admiralty Court before Judicial Commissioner Datuk Khatijah Idris, Sitpa also said that the government had received a court order to permit the second phase of the judicial sale of the yacht. The lawyer said the second phase will be a normal sale through private negotiation, and the completion date of the sale was set for 31st of March next year. 2 homeless individuals aged 24 and 21 were arrested for possessing drugs worth over 12,000 ringgit at 2 separate locations in Kota Bharu, Kelantan. Kota Bharu Police Chief ACP Abdul Rahim Daud, who confirmed the arrests, said it was done based on information gathered by the police. Both cases are being investigated under Section 39B and Section 39A, subsection 1 of the Dangerous Drugs Act 1952.
Untuk pasaran di tempatan sekitar Kota Bharu. Dan siasatan juga menunjukkan bahawa bekalan ini juga diperoleh di sekitar Kota Bharu. Yang di pengadaan kecil-kecilan.
ACP Abdul Rahim said both of the suspects are currently under remand to facilitate investigation into the matter. He added that based on urine tests conducted, both suspects were found positive for morphine and methamphetamine. The suspects were also found to have previous criminal records. The Immigration Department is in the process of deporting and prosecuting illegal immigrants in the country to prevent congestion at immigration depots. Immigration Director General Dr. Sri Mustafa Ali said it is also to prevent the government from incurring higher spending costs at immigration detention depots when the number of illegals detained increase. Now, he said that from the more than 9,000 illegal immigrants who are in detention depots, only over 5,000 illegals have been deported and charged in courts. In addition to completing the prosecution process quickly, there are certain parties who have asked to slow down on the crackdown on illegal immigrants because the detention depots were full of illegals who have been detained. Now, he was met after immigration enforcement operations in Jalan Lok Yew in the nation's capital early this morning. He said 46,000 illegals had been detained nationwide since the beginning of January until last night. The government has no plans of providing the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, or MACC, the power to prosecute cases related to corruption and abuse of power. Deputy Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Muhammad Hanifah Maidin, said to avoid the overlapping of power with the current existing legislative body and create conflict of interest. He added that MACC should instead focus on the aspect of investigating individuals who are alleged to be involved in such cases for the current moment.
Dalam satu kes di India, iaitu kes state of apa ni? Minta maaf State of Bihar versus PP Sharma. Saya quote apa dikatakan oleh hakim dalam kes itu. Dia kata ethical conduct is absolutely essential for investigative professionalism.
The Education Ministry will simplify the registration process for pupils without citizenship for admission to government schools beginning next year. Now, speaking in Parliament today, Deputy Education Minister Teo Nee Cheng said it is in line with the ministry's stand of education for all.
Pada tahun depan untuk tahun sesi persekolahan 2019 denganlah menunjukkan sijil lahir yang di mana salah satu ibu bapa adalah warga Malaysia. Okay. Biasanya adalah ayah lah, kerana ibu kalau ibu adalah seorang warga Malaysia, kebanyakan masa anak tu memang merupakan warga Malaysia. Jadi sijil lahir yang tunjukkan bahawa salah seorang ibu bapa adalah warga Malaysia.
Teo also reprimanded the attitude of several parents, especially those living in rural areas, for their refusal to register the birth of their children. She added that the status and the citizenship documents of a child is vital for their future. Meanwhile, Teo said the ministry's effort to create awareness among the city's homeless and poor people on the importance of education has achieved some considerable success. Now, this was proven in the rising number of enrollments at Sekolah Bimbingan Jalinan Kasih, or SBJK, which was specially set up for children from poor families, where 158 have registered as of October, compared to only 43 in 2013. According to Teo, the total had surpassed the ministry's target of 150 students per school session.
Kita memang ada murid-murid, pelajar-pelajar yang bermula dari umur 5 tahun sehinggalah 17 tahun. Dan hak umur untuk sekolah ini adalah dari 4 tahun sehinggalah 19 tahun.
Elaborating further, Teo said the syllabus for the SBJK not only focused on academic subjects, but also skills subjects including sewing, cooking, art and music. The aim was to ensure these children are well equipped and qualified to either apply for jobs or open their own business once they complete their schooling at SBJK. Deputy Defence Minister Liew Chin Tong today told the Dewan Negara that the Royal Malaysian Air Force RMAF has outlined a new platform for its Maritime Patrol Aircraft, or MPA project. He added the project is vital and critical considering the current regional geostrategic development and the country's economic situation. Liew said currently operations on the waters of the region is being carried out by the Beechcraft 200, which is 23 years old and its capabilities are limited.
TUDM juga turut menggariskan keperluan unmanned aerial vehicle UAV yang akan digandingkan bersama pengoperasian pesawat rondaan maritim bagi pemantauan dan pengawasan kawasan tanggungjawab maritim negara secara lebih efisien dan efektif.
Commenting further, Liu said the ministry is also in the midst of upgrading and maintaining other RMAF assets such as the Sukhoi Su-30 MKM and the 10 MiG-29. The Malaysian Competition Commission, or MYCC, is working closely with the Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs Ministry, KPDN-HEP, to identify the cause of price increase of local chicken eggs. Now, in a statement, MyCC CEO Iskandar Ismail said the Commission will look into the anti-competitive behaviours practiced by enterprises, such as price-fixing cartel, division of competitive areas and deliberately limited productions. Among the matters of interest in the investigation include daily prices and the total production of chicken eggs. MyCC also will look closely into the export activities of chicken eggs to countries abroad, which has been recently increasing. The Commission assured that it will not hesitate to take stern action under Competition Act 2010 against any companies involved in any cartel activity to ensure that consumer interests remain protected. Founded in April 2011, the Commission is responsible for enforcing the Competition Act 2010, which was implemented to promote healthy competition. Moreover, MyCC is also responsible for stimulating productivity and innovation to create a wider selection of products or services for consumers with better quality and at affordable prices. Now, Kedah is ready to share their ideas with the private sector to attract more foreign investments into the state. Menteri Besar Datuk Seri Mukhris Mahathir said the state government is currently in discussion with several quarters, including investors, to decide on the long-term plan of the paddy fields.
Saya harap hasil daripada perbincangan pada hari ini kita dapat kumpulkan idea-idea bernas ini untuk dipertimbangkan oleh kerajaan negeri.
Datuk Seri Mukhris said this in a press conference held after the launch of the Kedah International Business and Investment Summit in Langkawi, Kedah. He added that the private sector is also likely to take over a market sector if any plan does not meet the global market criteria. The Hajj quota for Malaysian pilgrims remains at 30,200 for the 2019 season. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Datuk Seri Mujahid Yusof, said the government was still negotiating with the Saudi Arabian government to increase the quota in line with the increase in Malaysia's population to about 31 million now. Datuk Seri Mujahid said according to Tabung Haji, the quota of 30,200 Malaysian pilgrims was obtained since 2 years ago based on the calculation of 0.1% of a country's population set by the Organisation of Islamic Cooperation 10 years ago.
Dan hingga kini, kita akan menunggulah nanti apa reaksi daripada permintaan kita. Tapi yang penting 30,200 itu akan terus kekal menjadi kota untuk Malaysia.
The minister said this at a news conference held at the Kuala Lumpur International Airport in Sepang, Selangor, upon his return from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, after attending the annual meeting of Hajj ministers. Datuk Seri Mujahid also announced that the Hajj pilgrimage costs remain at 9,980 ringgit per person. He said Malaysia's smooth Hajj pre-departure program this year would be considered by Saudi Arabia for the 2019 Hajj season. Perusahaan Automobil Kedua Sdn Bhd or Perodua has appointed Datuk Zainal Abidin Ahmad as its new Chief Executive Officer, CEO, succeeding Datuk Dr. Aminah Rashid Saleh, who is retiring after 9 years at the helm. In a statement released, Perodua said Datuk Dr. Aminah's tenure as Perodua President and CEO would end on the 31st of December. Datuk Zainal Abidin will take the helm from the 1st of January 2019. He was previously Vice President of Perodua Auto Corporation Sdn Bhd and holds a bachelor's degree in Management Information Systems and Accounting from the Pacific Lutheran University, Washington, USA. He began his career in Perodua in 1995 in the cost control department and was directly involved in creating Perodua's manufacturing cost structure. Meanwhile, Perodua said Datuk Dr. Aminah Rashid was the longest-serving president and CEO, and under his leadership, the company expanded its market share to above 37% year-to-date 2018 from 31.2% in 2010. Most importantly, on his watch, Perodua embarked on a 1.3 billion ringgit investment to build Perodua Global Manufacturing Sdn Bhd, Malaysia's first energy-efficient vehicle EEV manufacturing plant. The Harimau Malaya are in high spirits ahead of their AFF Suzuki Cup 2018 final second leg clash against Vietnam at the My Dinh Stadium in Hanoi on Saturday, as two defensive stalwarts have recovered from injuries. Now, the two players are midfielder Aidil Zafwan Abdul Razak and left-back Muhammad Shazwan Andik Muhammad Ishak, who did not feature in the first leg at the National Stadium Bukit Jalil last Tuesday, which ended in a 2-all draw. National coach Tan Cheng Ho acknowledged the return of the two defenders as well as Muhammad Shami Safari from a one-match suspension was a big relief.
Ya, kita harap dengan kembalinya tiga pemain tonggak di bahagian defend tu sedikit sebanyak membantu kita dari defending line lah. Tetapi masih lagi kita tahu bahagian serangan Vietnam begitu pantas dan cepat mengambil peluang, dan kita sekali lagi kena berjaga-jaga dan kena begitu fokus lah untuk 90 minit.
He said this before leaving for Hanoi from Kuala Lumpur International Airport today. In the meantime, Cheng Ho did not rule out the possibility of a change in formation, especially in defence, as it was breached easily in the first leg, but it depends on the situation on the day of the match. Former World Track Cycling champion Muhammad Azizul Hasni Awang and rhythmic gymnast Amy Kwan Dick Wing were declared the male and female Olympians of the year 2018 at the 25th Olympic Council of Malaysia, or OCM, annual dinner and awards night. Now, they each received 10,000 ringgit cash and special medals from Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Wan Aziza Wan Ismail at a ceremony last night. 30-year-old Azizul, Pocket Rocket Man, displayed outstanding performances to bag 3 medals at the 2018 Jakarta Palembang Asian Games, winning gold in sprint, silver in men's team sprint and bronze in keirin. However, Azizul was not present at the ceremony as he is participating in an event in London, the Track World Cup Championship. Amy, 23, returned with 4 medals from the 2018 Gold Coast Commonwealth Games, with gold in individual ribbon, silver in women's team event, and 2 bronze medals in individual all-around and hoop. Azizul and Amy are the 3rd cyclist and gymnast, respectively, to win the award since its introduction in 1993. And that concludes this evening's edition of News on 2. In our top story, Malaysia-Singapore to hold talks over Johor Bahru port limits. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. I'm Jessica Lee. Thank you for watching.